Hey everybody, welcome back to another weekly Wednesday live stream. I'm Peter.
And I'm Mike. Hello.
Yeah, of course you know us. Glad to see so many of you watching today. Really appreciate it in the chat. By the way, Troy, if you want to have a haircut like this, just go to your nearest barber shop, like the men's haircut thing, and just say, I want a haircut, shouldn't cost too much, and I don't want to be back too soon. That's probably when you get this. Anyway.
Free?
Yes, pretty much, yeah. Just make me look like I fought with a lawnmower and lost, something like that. But yeah, thanks for joining today, guys. Really appreciate it. It's going to be another really fun stream today. We're going to be talking about some gaming gear, which is kind of overdue, I guess. We don't have many of these streams, right? So usually they're quite fun. Yeah, well, it usually takes a while, and it's not like, with graphics cards, motherboards, or other things, you usually get like batches of releases because they're tied to a chipset or a CPU or a GPU or something like that. For gaming gear, it's usually, much more spread out, so we kind of tend to save them up a bit until we have enough to fill a stream where it makes sense. So yeah, today we're going to be talking about 3 products. You can see them basically behind me as well, and I have them in the box right here. I'll start with the big one, the Vigor GK71 Sonic. It's a really nice one as well. It's a really specific profile of the switches, but we'll tell you all about that later. And we have quite a small one comparatively here. The GK50 Low Profile TKL, Tenkeyless.
I always like those tiny keyboards.
Exactly, yeah. It's been a while since we had a Tenkeyless keyboard.
Working, by the way.
I don't know, man. Have you turned yours on? Because, I mean, the next product I'm going to get is, of course, related to sound as well.
I think now it should work again. I think my receiver turned off.
You thought Linus had good segues.
I've been out of the studio for too long, so my receiver went in hibernation, but we're back.
Yeah, your connection timed out, right?
Error 404.
Exactly, yeah. Yeah, we work from home a lot, so yeah, we feel disconnected from the office, literally. And our latest, or actually the first real streaming microphone, like the serious microphone we've done, the Immerse GV60 streaming mic. Also, it's a USB streaming mic with a lot of different profiles as well.
No receivers that automatically switch off if you're gone for a while?
No, not this one indeed. This one's just USB. It's plug and play. There's not even software basically that comes with this one. It's really just the hardware. These ones can also work with only the hardware and no software installed, but with the software you get some extra capabilities, of course, which we're also going to show you. Yeah, before we get into those, also want to highlight, I think one of the things you guys like
was
best.
already asking in YouTube.
Yeah,
how to get that Rainbow
how
Six
to get
extraction.
that? Well, here you go. We have a giveaway that you can either go to msi.com/2/insider. I think the URL is right there, right? Yeah, it's quite small.
Guys.
But you can see it, yeah. Somebody was saying also like, I love how you do the weatherman impression like this, right? So as you can see here, right? But yeah, so if you go to that URL, or there's a bot, I think Stream Elements it's called. It spams the, well, I don't want to say, it posts the, shares the giveaway link in the chat every 5 minutes.
Every 5 minutes, yeah.
Yeah, I guess you call it spam, but anyway, so it's a timed message basically. Every 5 minutes, it puts it into the chat, at least on YouTube and Twitch. If you're watching our stream on any other channel, like for example, we also stream on our Facebook channels and on, I believe, Twitter still. Yeah, not even sure if that's still up, but if it is, then
Twitter's still up.
We're also live there. Yeah. There you probably won't be able to see those links, so if you want to participate in the giveaway and for interactions and questions anyway, because I'm seeing a chat window right in front of me here, and it's filled with, it says a little icon of which platform you guys are looking and chatting on basically, and it's full of YouTube and Twitch icons, so those are the most active anyway. I'd say, join us on our YouTube or Twitch channel. Those are usually the best, the most active, and to be honest, also the most fun people there as well. Anyway,
that was rude to our Twitter and Facebook viewers.
well, you know, but it's not like you don't have a choice, right? So, you know, become one of the cool YouTube or Twitch people is kind of my message there, right? Anyway, no, but yeah, that's where also the link for the giveaway is usually is always shared because the other platforms they don't like us sharing URLs in the chat, so that's why most reliably it's always on YouTube and Twitch. Anyway, yeah, and there you can perform a few actions. Basically, just subscribe to our channel, I think was one of them. And the more actions you perform, basically it adds points into a like a little point stack for you. And then at some points, multiple points actually during this live stream, Mike will do a random giveaway in the back end of the Gleam system. It's basically just a random lucky draw. And it will just select the winner at random. But the more points you have, so the more actions you perform, the more points you have, the better your chance of winning.
Yeah, you basically get more entries for the giveaway.
Yes, exactly. And you also can, if you're a regular viewer and you've participated more often, you will get loyalty points that you can actually also put into the draw. You can do this each and every single stream. They don't get deducted. Basically, you just build them up and you can just throw them in every single stream. You only need to do it once per stream, by the way. So, I mean, if you want to do it multiple times per stream, go ahead, but that doesn't really influence it. Yeah, so once you've done that, you're good to go and you're in the draw for a copy of the game. That was a very long answer to your question, but I hope
Hussein says, Twitter people, go back to your boring timeline. Or just come and chat with us on YouTube or Twitch.
Got him.
Derek is asking, will you be showcasing Godlike soon? We actually already did.
Yes.
So if you go to YouTube and go into our MSI Insider playlist, if you scroll down a little bit, it's a couple of months ago we did, I think.
But do you think that Derek is saying that because I also recently saw some messages that the Godlike Z690 is becoming available now, actually.
Yeah, not in regular retail channels, but just watch that live stream and we will tell you all about how to get it.
Exactly. Yeah. Spoiler alert, it's also a lucky draw. No, just kidding. Anyway. Any other good questions? Yeah, anyway, if you have any questions along the stream or something, any of the topics that we're covering, let us know. Loyalty bonus ones aren't working right. It only added one entry, even though it said I should get an extra 9. All right.
9 extra entries? I'm not sure if it even goes that high, but
it does. But then you've been watching us for 10 years, I think. Right?
For longer than we're streaming.
Yeah. Well, it sounds legit. No, but I mean, it's to be fair, the loyalty system has sometimes had some issues. I believe lately it's been kind of fixed, but yeah, we'll see.
Hi, Demon79 is saying, this is awesome, low profile. Tenkeyless are rare. Is it mechanical? Yes, it is.
It is, yeah. But we'll get to that one a little bit later. Because really I first want to go into the microphone. Why? Because this microphone we also want to use to let you hear, it's like the ASMR bit, I guess, to let you hear the switches up close. Are you going to do
that obnoxious whispering in the microphone as well?
Yeah, that's not really my thing, but I could be persuaded, I guess.
Okay, Chad, persuade him.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't even know how I can be persuaded.
Maybe you can ASMR some prize winners later on.
Yeah, maybe. Can whisper them in your ear. Oh my god. Right, so let's get started. GV60. So yeah, I mean, typically we haven't really made a microphone yet. I mean, you know, we've always had microphones as part of our headsets, for example. You know, that's a thing. But this is a completely different caliber of microphone, obviously. Now, as content creators ourselves, which we have become throughout the years, doing live streams, doing videos, we've learned a lot about you know, good and bad sound and stuff like that. I also used to, well, sing in a band a long time ago, I guess. So I had like a stage mic as well. If any of you know what that is, we actually used that for I think like a year or something. Like in the
very beginning, we only had a single microphone for multiple people in the live stream.
Yeah, indeed. And it was a very basic one because we just had to start the stream and yeah, just try and learn and, you know, start from the very bottom. So we just bought a, you know, very cheap, but something that got good reviews, USB microphone, and thought, okay, let's see how it goes. And
isn't that thing still somewhere there?
it should be somewhere there, yeah. But, you know,
Lucas here.
honestly, yeah. For that time being, you know, and at that time we thought, oh yeah, that
That's
sounds...
what we used in the very beginning.
Yeah, it sounds quite okay. But if we listened back to it today, you know, we'd be like, oh my God, how could we have ever thought that that was acceptable?
And especially once we started streaming with multiple people at the same time, then it got even worse.
Yeah, because our first streams used to be just one person. It was like a presentation, right? It's like a monologue kind of thing. We were always very nervous because, you know, it's like, we was like, oh, there's so many people watching. Get stage fright.
Remember that time when we were actually nervous for a live stream?
Yeah.
That's been a while.
It is, yeah, because like anything, you know, do it long enough and often enough, and you kind of get used to it, I guess. I mean, you still want to do a good job, but it takes the edge off a bit, luckily. Anyway.
By the way, to make you nervous, Ian has a request for you. I don't believe you. Sing something for us to prove it.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Well, I don't have my singing microphone here to begin with, but yeah, I don't really know where to I mean, it's been so long, I haven't done that for a long time.
Maybe a little Mariah Carey, All I Want for Christmas?
that wasn't really my shtick, if you know what I mean.
It wasn't?
It was more like Pearl Jam and stuff. You know?
Indiana Roy is asking, is it going to be an ASMR stream? We actually tried that once, Eric and I did. It was really hard.
Oh.
It was so hard for us to
No, it was probably harder for the people listening to it.
Probably. But it's also, especially for Eric, it's really hard to whisper.
It is, yeah. He talks really loud, like as his basic level of talking. So
yeah, you can hear it a couple
mostly
of
also did it to kind of fuck with Eric, I guess. To tell you need to do the ASMR, Eric. And you know, with ASMR comes whispering. You know, so you need to whisper the whole stream. And I mean, to his credit, he did it, right? He went through.
Not the whole stream, but he did it for a while.
Yeah,
but it was hard.
Enough, yeah.
It was really
he gave
hard.
up at some point, yeah.
Oh, look, there he is in the chat, in the YouTube chat.
yeah, alive,
still alive.
There he is. Good to have you with us, Eric. Good to know you're listening. Anyway, so yeah, we learned a lot about microphones.
JD is asking, sorry guys, I'm late, missed something. No, we just started actually.
No, yeah, not really indeed. But yeah, we learned a lot of things about microphones as well, and also trying a lot of different solutions. Now we have these, you know, lapel or lavalier mics. No, Eric, I'm not going to sing. maybe when it's your birthday and you ask nicely. I can go all Marilyn Monroe on you, you know.
If he brings cake.
Happy birthday. yeah, Eric, you know. I want you to sing live. I did used to sing. That was one of my songs. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. So what we have here is a microphone that it's a USB microphone. So basically, also gets its power from the USB connection. Requires at least a USB 2.0. It has multiple condenser capsules inside of it, so you can switch patterns. More information, more detail about that a little bit later as well. Yeah, you can, if you find the box in a shop or even on the webpage, you can find all this information, by the way. So if you really want to know more detail, you can also always look that up there. It's capable of high resolution audio recording. That means nothing more than it can have a certain bit and sample rate that it's, you know, it's just really high quality, and you can downsample it later if you want to, but it gives a lot of detail. A couple of things about this microphone we encounter while unboxing it. I'm not even sure, we'll see. I'm not even sure if this is like the actual color. We got a sample a while ago to test it as well, so it might be that in the shop version this inner box is a different color. Here it's just, you know, an understated brown. Inside, nice foam padding, of course, as protection, and here is the microphone itself. So just take that out.
It's pretty big.
It is, and it feels really, really sturdy and heavy. It's when I just you know.
It almost dropped through the table.
It is, yeah. So it's surprisingly heavy, but also very sturdy. You know, it does feel really sturdy. It's mostly there's a lot of weight to the stand,
to the
of course,
base,
which is
right?
what you want, because it needs to support it. And this is a microphone that you have to point basically the front. This is the front towards you. So it's not like you're not going to be singing like this. A stage mic, you sing like this, right? You have to point the the long end basically to your mouth. But this is more like a studio mic, which basically means you have to point the front end of the grid to your mouth. Anyway, on the website, I think, or even in the booklet that's included. Yeah, here we go. Even on the first page, if I remember correct, I was going to say, because I helped to check this a little bit. You know, there's even a description of how you should use it, because a lot of people don't know that, right? You're kind of used to, okay, maybe I do the what looks like the end, what is it? Anyway, that part of the microphone towards you. That's not how you use it.
Yeah, you would guess that you have to aim it towards your mouth. But
Yeah,
you shouldn't.
yeah, exactly. Because you see people on stage doing that with singing microphones, with stage microphones, for example. But that's not how this one works. Anyway, also good in the book that it does include some instructions of how to achieve the optimal results. It also describes a bit the different pickup patterns and stuff. I'll go over that in a bit more detail as well. It's pretty fun. So yeah, a couple of things here. As you can see, it's got a few dials and knobs. Dials, I don't know. I think dials is the best word, because knob in English means something a bit different. Can be interpreted wrong. So the top one, you can switch the pickup patterns, which I will go over in a bit. But as you can see, you can basically just choose the 4. This light will go on once you power it on, basically. You connect the USB. You've got the volume. And this is the volume of your listening thing, because there's a little audio feedback port, a 3.5mm jack port here. If you connect that with a 3.5mm headset, you can actually hear yourself, your own voice in real time.
So like a monitor function.
Yeah, it's like a monitor function, and it's really the first time I heard about it, it's like, well, but I mean, isn't that like an echo, or won't that be really annoying and hard to listen to, or if it's real time, then it's it might be difficult to discern your own voice from when you're speaking to what you're listening to, but it's very surprisingly useful and accurate. But yeah, you can also turn that one, the volume of that up and down as much as you want. This doesn't matter though if you're not connecting anything down on the in this jack here. And then the bottom one is basically your volume of your microphone, loudness, let's say. So you can basically, even without, in Windows you've got like a toggle as well, right? A slider where you can say, okay, I want it louder or softer. But you can also do that on your microphone itself. You don't even have to touch the software, not even Windows. And you've got a dedicated mute button here, which basically, it's just a button. The light will change if you mute your microphone, so that's nice. The USB connection is Type-C. It's on the other side here. So that also means it's got a very stable connection to it. We have included and made sure that there's I'm not quite sure what the measurement is for this, but basically to mount it on one of those, one of those arms that you see in like studios that they use. So you can basically put it on one of those mounting arms if you prefer that instead of using the included stand. But if you want to use the included stand, it's also quite nice. Like I mentioned, it's quite hefty, so it does make sure that the microphone is quite sturdily standing on the table. And with these little screws here, the thumb screws, you can just choose any position you want to put it in to make sure, for example, if you're sitting like this, right? I'm sitting here. You want to make sure you're basically in a 90-degree angle to the microphone. So you just put it in that position, and then you just, tighten the thumb screws in that position, and then you're done. So it's really easy and really nice that it's included like that.
Hi, Demon is asking Twitch chat, does it connect to PC through USB or analog?
USB, yeah.
Yeah, that's the Type-C connection you see on the bottom. That's the one you use to connect it to your PC.
Yeah. And Public Nuisance is saying probably 3/4. I think that's actually the threading in underneath, indeed, I think it's about like 3/4 of an inch measurement, which, yeah, I think that's relatively standard for most, or you may have an adapter that you can change the threading on it. But yeah, for mounting it on a boom arm, I think it's called. What else did I want to say? Oh yeah, I think, well, then we get to what else is in the box. You know, using a microphone like this is all right, but usually what you see with a lot of professional microphones is that they also have kind of either some filter around it, you know, or one of those round things with like a see-through fabric. We've actually included the little, they call it pop filter here as well. Basically what this means when you speak, you know, especially with the S tones or the P, there's like air, you know, a lot of air coming out, and that air you can actually hear, and I can let you hear it later on as well.
Air, spit, everything.
Well, yeah. No, but like,
your lunch.
You know, the air, and when it hits the microphone, you can actually hear that as a little wind or a pop, basically. So that's why they include this. So you can just put it on there like a little afro. There you go. Or like a little, what is it, British, you know, Queen's Guards hat, I guess.
Also, if you want to stream in summer, for example, and you have a fan blowing, also
yes.
put this on.
Yeah, well, basically, we recommend to always put this on because it's just generally better because it filters out any unwanted, you know, movement of air, basically. So it's always a good idea to use this. If you don't have an external one already, basically. Which, you know, if you're really professional, probably you'll have like an external little pop filter. But this one, adding this one into the mix is just generally a good idea. Then also included in the box is the USB cable, of course, and not just any USB cable. As I mentioned, it is Type-C, which again here you can see that. But also, I mean, it's got a nice little what is it, cable management thingy. Velcro, but it's also a quite long cable. We've opted to go for a 3-meter long cable.
Also, if you want to mount it, for example, on a boom arm.
Exactly, on a boom arm, because then usually, you know, it won't be right next to your PC. The boom arm itself is usually also up to about 1.5, 2 meters maybe in total. So you want to have that extra cable to make sure that you can still, you know, plug it into your PC wherever it's located. So yeah, 3-meter USB cable. I thought that was a pretty nice touch as well, which just makes it easier to just put it in any position you prefer. And then it's just very simple. You just plug it into the bottom, like so. And I'll see if I can plug it into the PC. Here we go. And then, as you can see, the blue light comes on. Blue light is just generally it's on, and when I mute, as you can see, it turns red. Press the button again, and it goes blue. And that's pretty much all that the indicator is for. But it is very useful. I've met, you know, a couple of times when you know, somebody came and asked me a question or something right in the middle of a conference call or something, and I just, you know, press the button. Done. You know, physical button on the microphone itself, I found very, very useful. Very convenient. Sticky rubber cable, yeah, it's not a braided cable, but it's also not sticky. It's just, it's a hard, hard rubberized cable, I guess.
Yeah, but it's just a regular Type-C to Type-A cable, so
yes.
you can swap it out for a different Type-C cable also if you want to.
Yeah.
If you want a different length, or if you want to have a certain braided cable or anything else.
The mic beanie. There's a lot of people talking about the pop filter here. Really, I love those little nicknames for it, like mic beanie, spit guard, pop filter, of course. That's
maybe we should have like custom ones that look like maybe. A beanie as well.
Yeah. Maybe one with different haircuts or something. I don't know. The Spock haircut or something, you know, like halfway. Like anyway, probably wouldn't work as well. Is it a touch-sensitive button? You actually have to press it in. I'm not sure if I can demonstrate this, but it's physical. You know, it's not capacitive. I think capacitive is touch, right? That's
it's like it's an actual button.
Yes, yeah, exactly. An analog button, I guess, maybe is also a way to say it. Anyway, all right, so what I'll do now is I will see if this works still. We tested this, but as we all know, once you go live, things go wrong.
Then everything's always broken.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see if I can switch to the GV60 microphone now. I've tried to, let's see, select it, yeah. Now I can switch it. So this is still my lav mic here. I think I can demonstrate that by, if I go over it here, you should be able to hear that. Okay.
Pet the chat.
Yeah, pet the chat indeed. And now I'm going to switch, hopefully, to the GV60. See if this works. Okay, hold on a second. As we thought, I'll keep the lav mic on until we get this thing working. Let's see.
So transferring the audio signal through NDI.
Yeah,
and that's
indeed.
a little bit tricky.
Let me try and restart NDI because that may work. And I also unplugged the microphone, of course, to put it back in the box so I could do the unboxing for you guys. So maybe that's why it's lost the connection now.
What color does the LED have on the microphone?
Blue.
Okay.
Yeah, no,
just checking.
It's off. Why? No, but that one still seems to be.
Yes. Okay. So this is actually I've now switched off the lav mic. I don't think you guys.
No, you cannot hear me properly anymore.
Well, maybe actually better because this microphone, this is the one I'm using now, and I think now you guys can hear it, right? If I move my finger across it, so it's clearly now it's this microphone, and this is set into one of the profiles that it is. But yeah, this microphone, the sound quality, from what I heard, I mean, you guys, I hope you also. Let me know how it sounds. But yeah, it should sound very good. At least from what I've heard and tested, it should sound very full, good sound quality. And I mean, I can change the volume as well. I'm just gonna do that here now. I'm gonna turn it down. So I'm gonna continue talking, turn it down, all the way down, all the way down, all the way down. And now I'm gonna turn it up again, up, and now it's all the way up. Now I have to say, in all fairness, there is a difference between the lav mic I'm wearing here and the GV60. The GV60 is just connected straight to a gaming PC that is below my desk here. It's then just the signal is just transferred to directly to the PC, the director's PC that mic is behind. The lav mic is first connected to a mixer, which also has a compressor. So basically, meaning if you get a loud sound, it will try to filter or dampen that out, so you guys won't go deaf. This thing doesn't really have that compressor, that filter. So that means if I do scream really loud or start singing now, Eric, then it will sound probably very hard, or at least go above what the normal sound level should be. Yeah. Sing for your supper. Is it Coronoid? What? Are you? I guess you mean Cardioid, because that is the term indeed for one of the pickup patterns of the microphone. Yes, Alex, it is. It does work through USB indeed. So it's a USB connected microphone. It has 3.5mm jack. That's only for listening. The 3.5mm jack. So basically, you can connect. Technically, I guess you could connect a 3.5mm jack and then plug it into another PC and then stream your voice through that. But that's a really weird workaround. So honestly, it's just a USB microphone. Why is there a delay? How do you mean there is a delay? I hope there isn't a. Do you mean like an echo, or do you mean what Mike was referring to earlier?
Because
I'm quickly switching to the left. I think the delay is because we're actually capturing on a different PC.
Yes.
So it goes from the PC that Peter is using to our streaming PC over our network.
Yes.
That could cause a bit of delay. That is of course different if you directly connect it to the PC that you're streaming on. So we have a little bit of a delay in between the capturing from Peter's PC.
Yeah, we had a
to my
little bit of a
PC.
challenge because I wanted to do this live, this demonstration. My other idea, if this failed, and it's an imperfect solution at the moment, indeed. But if I would just be streaming directly from this PC, to Twitch or whatever, if I'm a streamer, there wouldn't be that delay because the signal would be instantly, basically, combined and then sent and streamed. Now, of course, indeed, the signal from what you're seeing, the camera, that one is separately going to the PC from Mike. And then the signal from this one is actually being sent through NDI, which is a network protocol. So there can be a slight delay indeed. So that might be a desync.
But usually you connect it either to the PC where you game and stream on, or if you use a dual streaming PC setup, then you would connect the microphone to the one you're streaming on, not the one you're gaming on. So that way you don't have any delays.
No, indeed. Yeah. So yeah, this microphone, it should have really good sound as well. What I've done for comparison is I have a headset connected.
By the way,
here.
earlier you were talking about the compressor. I couldn't speak because my microphone was off.
Oh yeah, sure.
But
Good.
if you want to use a compressor, you can also always use any audio software that you like best on your computer and still use a compressor kind of feature on this microphone as well.
Yeah. Indeed. So it can be. We thought about running it through the mixer as well. The problem here is then that it's a USB microphone, and basically both of course it gets its power from the USB, but also the signal goes through the USB then. And our mixer is basically an analog mixer. It can only take analog connections like Tulip. What is it?
XLR.
3.5
millimeter,
millimeter.
6.3
And what was the other one?
6.3, the big
6.
one.
Is it okay? So it's 6.3 indeed. So the bigger jack. So anyway, it is. No, I'm not gonna sing "Du hast mich." I love Rammstein, but yeah, it's a bit hard to sing. Anyway. This one, no Panda, actually, please don't get it confused. This one does not have a hardware audio leveling, as far as I know at least. This is just, it's just the microphone and really nothing in between. So, but I think
if you want to do that, you can use software like, for example, Voice Meter or Voice Meter Banana, stuff like that.
Indeed. What Mike was saying is that if you want to do that, it's fairly easy. And I believe that's it's pretty loud. Well, that depends. Again, I turned the volume up a bit. I can also turn it down.
Right now we're on the Lav.
Oh, this is the Lav mic. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, but if you want to use some voice, some compressing or management software, you can probably, there's some free software and there's probably some really good professional, paid software as well that you can use for that. So you can always throw that into the mix. There's even other software. Later on, if we have time, we can also try things like there's MSI SoundTune. I think it's in MSI Center. It's called noise cancellation, right? So if it's really noisy behind you and you want to cancel out that noise.
Yeah, it depends a bit on your environment. But for example, if you have like really loud air conditioning, then that could help.
Kids or Eric vacuuming in the background or trying to play guitar, which he obviously can't. But what he did for that live stream, because there is a live stream about MSI SoundTune, by the way. It's been a while, but it works. And there's also, if you got an RTX card, of course, there's RTX Voice, which is included in NVIDIA or GeForce Broadcast now. So yeah, there's all kinds of things you can try out.
Isn't it called RTX?
Broadcast, I think. NVIDIA Broadcast. Yeah, it's some things are called. It used to be called RTX Voice, and it may still be called that, but it's now part of the package of Broadcast, which you need.
Tix Demon is asking, are you guys gonna make more microphones? One with RGB?
I don't know. There's no plans right now. I mean, this was at the moment a one-off product that we really thought, okay, let's first see and see if we can get the basics right. Make a product that's that's good.
It doesn't have RGB, but it has RB.
R&B. No, I mean there's a little LED on there, but that's pretty much it, as you can see. Yeah, but what I'll do now is I will switch.
This should be this is the GV60 again. So this is this microphone. And what I will do now is I will switch to the headset microphone. So you can actually, and this is kind of to get the idea of, you know, if you're, say you're a streamer or you want to get into streaming, you have a headset, obviously, you're gaming, but, you know, you want to up your game, you want to have a better voice, or maybe you want to record videos for YouTube or whatever. You just want your voice to sound better, you know, because with a headset mic, it's usually not ideal. It's okay, it's clear enough to communicate, you know, things to your teammates, but it's not ideal. So what I'll do now is this should be able to allow me to switch to. Here we go. This, I think. Let me try. Yeah. So now this is the headset microphone, and I'll just put it in a natural position so as not to, you know, have a position positioning for the microphone that's really weird. So this is like a normal position, as you can see, and it's a non-flex mic. I can't really change it. It's basically just in the position it's in. And what I am wondering from you guys, because we tested this before, and we could quite clearly hear a difference. But I'd like to hear from you guys as well. Like, is there a big difference in the sound quality? Do you really instantly notice, like, oh yeah, this is really different? But yeah, anyway, we'll see. Let us know. So this is the GH30 microphone, or sorry, headset with the microphone attached to it, of course. And RGB will make it look unprofessional. Well, that's the difference isn't too big. Yeah, honestly, the microphone on the GH30 is not even that bad. So it may be counted as, you know, one of the, well, I don't want to say better microphones, but yeah. It's still all right. But there should be a difference really in sound quality. Yeah. So yeah, FRZ Eagle is also saying the microphone on the desk is making you a radio host. I hope, and I guess you mean this microphone makes me sound more like a radio. So basically a deeper voice, just a better recording of the voice and a better registry, basically. Whereas, these microphones and also the what is it? The little what's it called? Yeah, I don't even think it's a condenser, but the microphone module in the headset here, obviously it's much smaller, so it can only do so much compared to a full size big condenser microphone, which is purpose built for really good, very warm condenser, So this is also basically just to give you guys an idea of the difference. So now I'm going to switch back to the GV60 again, and I need to unmute it. There we go. So because now I can. I can tap this one. It doesn't make a difference. Just to basically to show you and to prove it as well. So now Peter, this is the GV60 again.
Using the GV60 again. Can you ASMR the first prize winner for today?
Sure, I can try. I'm not sure if you guys caught it, but Mike just yelled at me from a distance if I can, announce the first prize winner of today. So if you haven't yet, please participate in the giveaway. You can win a Rainbow Six Extraction game code, of course. The first winner of today is called Dark Lord of Caliban. Congratulations, Dark Lord of Caliban. Anyway, my voice is really soft, so I need the deeper voice. It also depends. A lot of people I think are like radio hosts, and they usually have these deep, warm voices, or people, who do podcasts. But it doesn't really matter your voice, to be fair, because if you listen to somebody like Linus, who I think did very well, let's just be honest there. But his voice is anything but deep, right? He also says that. He also did a couple of videos about these things. Really interesting. You can learn a lot from that. And he also said, that some microphones are better for people with deep voices, and some microphones are just, for some reason, better for people with the squeaky voices, as I think he calls it, indeed. So the higher pitched voices. So it really depends, but it's up to you. The thing is that in general, your voice will be way more clear. And to be fair, I think this also, even in games, depending on the codec that games use, because that can kind of screw with the compression as well and with the sound quality. But I've tested this thing in, for example, in CSGO or in Discord, and everywhere people were just instantly saying, "Whoa, all right, you sound different, dude," in a good way, right? It just sounds way more. I guess a professional, clear, deep. Yeah, it's just a way more natural sounding voice, is what they all said. And it does, yeah. Jonathan is saying it seems to pick up your voice even from a distance. Yeah, this is the thing with a microphone like this. It can be a big plus, but also somewhat of a negative. These microphones are kind of meant, and this is why you see a lot of those streamers with the boom arms as well. These are meant to be used kind of up close. So I'll turn the volume down a bit for this. But usually, they're meant to be a bit more up close and personal like this. So before I had it a bit more at a distance, but they're really more meant for a bit up close. And there is a measurement, I think like about 20 to 30 centimeters or something is ideal of a distance. And so then you don't have to yell. You don't have to, you don't get the idea. You could just talk as you normally do with your normal volume of voice, and it will pick it up effortlessly. And it should be very natural sounding as well. And if I go far away, I mean, it will probably still do it. So I can do that right now. Let's see. I'll shift one. I'll put this thing farther away, and I'll also go farther away myself. I will turn up the volume a bit so you can hear it. So yeah, I think this distance is about 1.5, 2 meters away from it. And so I do raise my voice a bit. This goes automatically, I guess, right? So you speak a bit louder, but it will probably still pick it up. The problem is that if you're alone in a room, it's fine. But if you're not alone in a room, Mike, can you talk?
Hello. I'm still trapped in the box.
So it will probably still pick up my voice better than Mike's, but you can probably also hear Mike in the background there. And so this is also why it's better to use these kinds of microphones a bit more close up. So that's really also what they're meant for. And so I'm gonna turn the volume back down a bit now to avoid you guys getting deaf. Yeah, and it is clear far, but that's mostly also because, you want to make sure if you're recording something or talking or streaming that your surrounding or the room that you're in is relatively quiet. If not, like we mentioned, there are solutions for that to filter out background noise, like RTX Voice or MSI SoundTune. So you can always try and do that. This is a condensator. Hypermodel is asking, is it dynamic or a condensator? This is a condensator, so it's got multiple modules in there. I think maybe we need to switch to that part as well and get a little bit of a move on. It has multiple pickup patterns. So actually, I'll keep using this microphone. Can we switch to the PPT? So as you can see, and I showed you earlier on as well. So the top dial basically lets you select between 4 different pickup patterns, and the pickup patterns are basically situational, and they will activate a different module or cardioid condensator in the microphone itself. The first one, and it basically goes, we're doing it in the same order as basically left to right on the microphone itself. The first one you will see is stereo. Now, stereo is basically if, for example, if we have a situation where Mike was sitting right next to me. I mean, now due to COVID, obviously he's not. But if he was sitting right next to me and the microphone was basically set in between us or just in front of us, that would give a nice, we could both talk into the microphone and it would pick us both up. It can also be used, obviously, to record, left and right channels. So that's quite useful. Maybe also for singing, because then usually you'll have a bit more left-right, perhaps going on. The second profile is the omnidirectional. So basically then it will pick up from all directions around the microphone, try to pick it up equally, and I think it should do. And this is, you might think, well, when is that useful? Well, not if you're on your own, trying to stream. That's probably not the optimal profile for you, or the optimal mode, pickup pattern. This is useful, for example, if you're in a room and there's multiple people around the table and you have a conference call and everybody needs to speak, not at the same time obviously, but everybody needs to be heard equally. Then that is actually quite useful. Or just if you want to record the sound of a space. Say, you want to record the sound of, I don't know, a busy school. I don't want to say playground because that's outside. That's dumb. But like a classroom or something, right? It will probably pick up all the noise from the whole room from all sides. The nice thing about it is also then later on, if you're going to edit it, basically, you will hear the sound from all sides also. So it will register also that it's coming from all sides.
Quick test, by the way. Now people should be able to hear me over my Lav mic, but they shouldn't hear you in echo because I switched you off on the mixer.
Oh my God. All right.
Let me quickly read some questions in chat. Swafty says, don't look in the camera, left guy. I think I'm left guy. I'm reading the chat sometimes, so then I don't look in the camera. It's really difficult to do two at the same time.
Master Docs is saying, I hear an amplifier hiss at this volume. It could be. We're switching a lot of different sources. So sometimes you can hear something in the background. We've also got, some ventilation going on still. Does it have a shock mount? No. This one does not have a... What does it sound like when you slam your desk? Probably it will hurt. Yeah, I mean, if a shock mount is important to you, that's actually exactly why we have the the threading at the bottom there, so you can actually mount it to a boom arm, and a boom arm is more of a shock mount thing, where you can really it doesn't matter as long as you don't attach it to the table, obviously. But if you attach it to a different object, then it doesn't matter what you do to the table because it won't do anything. Bad echo. Maybe it's still picking.
Mine off again.
Okay, yeah. I think it was still picking you up, indeed. All right. So the third pickup pattern is probably the one that you'll find most useful, especially if you want to record videos, podcasts, or for streaming, for example. Because Cardioid is basically, you can see it in the shape as well. It will try the pickup pattern basically a little bit to the side, but mostly to the front, and behind it, it's like a blind spot basically, where it should pick up the least noise. It will pick up some noise, but a lot less. And then the last one is bi-directional. So basically, if you've got somebody sitting straight across from you, basically, and you want to do like an interview type of conversation, that one is also useful. It's kind of like stereo, but then like in the opposite direction instead of to the sides. And I can switch to that one as well, because then hopefully when I do that, here we go. Yeah, switch it now, and it really is easy as just turning the knob like this. So this is Cardioid, and this is the the bi-directional. And now, so I've got it facing to the front to me, and now Mike, if you can you start talking?
Hello. Test 1, 2, 3.
I'm not sure. I mean, he's not facing me directly, so it's still, the sound is kind of indirect, but you probably will hear him better than when I do this.
I'm around the corner, basically.
Now I've switched to the Cardioid pickup pattern.
Hello. Test 1, 2, 3.
Switching back to the bi-directional.
Hello. Test 1, 2, 3.
So it's probably, there's like a... Will it pick up keyboard sounds? So that's something we will get into later this stream, actually. Miakanimo. Is it compatible with the anti-vibration shock mounts? It should be, Panda, because it depends on if the mounting, basically, the threading of the mounting you have is compatible with this. So you need to make sure that the measurement is the same. I think indeed it's the 3/4 inch that we're using. Anyway, so this is just a small example, but yeah, this is really useful for depending on the situation that you want to use it in. So it's quite versatile in that respect, but its main goal is just to use it for streaming, for podcasts, that kind of thing, and basically just to give you a lot better sound quality than your average headset microphone. Basically, that's really it. Who is that guy shouting in the background? Okay. Yeah, and this one should be available now. A lot of people are asking for pricing. It really depends per country, obviously, as always. But I think it should be around, what is it, somewhere between $120, $140, depending on your location, VAT, that kind of thing. So it's just over 100, I think. Yeah. All right. So that's to provide some context, and we'll switch to the Lav Mics now.
And then later on, we'll return to this one for some ASMR type stuff with the other products we're going to announce now, or not announce, but we're going to look at now.
I already saw some people in the chat waiting for those.
Yes, and maybe before we no, actually, I think we can look at them first and then go into a bit of detail. Because when it gets to keyboards, there's a couple of things you can talk about, obviously. How it looks, if it's got RGB, if it's mechanical, yes or no. But once you get into the switches, don't get Michiel started. I think that's kind of what Eric would say as well. But anyway,
switches.
There's like if you get into the switches, there is like, I don't want to say an infinite, but a nearly infinite amount of variations and differences.
Yeah, nowadays there are so many different kinds of mechanical switches.
Yeah. But we'll try to. I mean, most of you guys hopefully know some of the basics. If you don't worry. We'll cover some of the basics later as well. First, I want to introduce to you guys the Vigor GK71 Sonic. Bam! Mechanical keyboard. Right off the bat, you can see it's the keyboard, of course, and it's got some nice RGB showing through it. I'll show you guys later how that came to be. But it's also got something in the box there as well, a nice wrist rest. Also, it does show here. It's a bit small text maybe, but it's got MSI Sonic red switches. So these are actually, I think, our first MSI branded switches. Obviously, they're based on another brand, like existing switches. We didn't make them out of nothing. We took a switch that was already there and we tweaked it a bit to what we wanted it to be for this keyboard. And then rebranded it for MSI. The thing about these switches is they are very light, meaning they require extremely little force to press down to operate, to activate, to register the key press. And this is for gamers at least. The idea behind it is if you really want to go for speed, you basically need. Well, you can do two things, and you can combine them as well. You need short travel time, of course, because shorter travel time means it needs to go shorter to press down, but also less resistance. So if you have a very light switch, that means that you can very easily, without too much effort, press down on it very quickly, and it registers almost instantly. Sometimes, and if you're used to heavier key switches, this can catch you off guard, and you'll be resting your hands or fingers on the keys, and before knowing it, you'll be, if you got a WordPad open or something, or anything like document, you'll be typing because you're accidentally putting your hand on the keys without realizing and actually already pressing them. At the moment, this keyboard is only available in the US International layout. But I have heard that there will be more localized layouts. That's a nightmare about keyboards as well, right? Especially if you're in Europe. Like almost every European country has got their own layout. So this is the US International layout here. It's a very nice, clean look, mostly, with the aircraft grade brushed. No, actually this one is not brushed, sorry. But the aluminum plate at the top, with floating keycap design, as you can see from the side. Very nice. And the thing about the keycaps is they are, and I'm just going to take one off to show you guys, but they are basically consisted out of two different parts. Obviously they don't come apart, but the bottom part, as you can see, is pretty much transparent. that's where a lot of the RGB will come through, and it looks really nice, as you'll see later on. And then of course you've got the top with, in this case, the escape. Beneath that, beneath those keycaps, you can see the switches. In this case, the MSI Sonic red switches, they are linear, meaning they go down basically in a linear fashion. There's no bump and there's no click, so they're not audible. They're, in that case, I don't want to say they're silent, but they are more silent than clicky switches. So they're not the clicky kind.
Maybe less loud is the better word.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. I mean, they're still mechanical, they'll still bottom out, and once they bottom out, you'll still hear a rather satisfying clack, right?
Yep.
It also has dedicated media controls. So as you can see here, there's a skip tracks, basically play, pause, mute. But this one, you can also turn. It's a little dial, and you can even do that from the side here. It's the same thing as doing it from here. It's the same mechanism, but that's basically obviously to control the volume. You could probably guess that, right?
Public Nuance is saying, so put in caps, but without the light diffusing.
Yeah, you could say that, I guess. Yeah.
And it makes the RGB a bit brighter than what you see in pudding caps.
Yeah.
But you'll see it later on.
Exactly, because we're going to power it on in a minute as well. Underneath, there's also some lines here, basically to well, how do you say that? Like cable management, cable gutters, I guess. So you can run cables through there for your mouse or your headset if you have them. So that's always nice. Of course, you've got the little stands if you want to put your keyboard in a bit more of an angle. So that's all nice to at least have. Of course, anti-slip feet, very important. So you get on any surface, basically, it won't move. It's very sturdy. Yeah, I think that's everything I can say from the outside, but because really the fun begins when I plug it in later on. Let's just show you guys what more is in the box. As I mentioned, there's a nice wrist rest.
Neo Linkster is asking on Twitch chat, where can I find a keyboard where all my key presses sound like a NES zapper, like Nintendo zapper? Probably, if you search for it, there's probably a software tool that can do something.
I was going to say,
that.
you used to be able to do that in Windows, couldn't you? Like pretty much everything you could give a sound.
There's probably a tool that can do that.
Yeah.
With any custom sound you like, I would guess.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, this wrist rest is, I think, let me just check. Yeah, it's memory foam. So it's very comfortable. That is. It doesn't really, you know, it's a right balance between being sturdy and squishy, you know, so it's not too soft. It also remains somewhat cool because of that. And it's only the top that's soft, because the bottom is actually, it's a harder plastic, let's say, and it does come with its own anti-slip footing as well there. And the nice thing you can see as well is there's this little X in there. That's not because it's a co-op with X-Men or anything. It's basically just continuing the pattern. I have to see if I do it right here. Yeah, here we go.
So if you put your headset cable underneath, it can go all the way through.
Wait, I need to shift the cable there. Yeah, indeed. So if you do put it other way together, there you go. You know, it continues all the way. So yeah. So yeah. And this wrist rest is basically fully detached, so you can, depending on your, you know, how big your hands are, basically. For me, it really wouldn't work if I put it right next to the keyboard. It's too close, because then my wrist would pretty much only touch the little edge here. So I would always place it just a little bit away from it. But that's really up to you. Oh yeah, it's got of course a braided cable, also with a nice cable management strap there, so you can just pretty much, you know, put it, or yeah, limit it at the length and make sure you don't really have too much cable still running loose on your desk.
Colin's asking, does it have a removable cable? No, this one doesn't, but the keyboard we'll talk about in a minute does have a removable cable.
Yeah. Of course, there's the little booklet included with, let's see, well, it's German. I don't know how good your German is, but as you can see, it shows everything from the, it doesn't really want to focus, does it? Anyway, the media keys, shortcut keys, and basically how to control the RGB as well without software, because there are hotkeys for that as well. It's rather nice. You also have a keycap puller inside included. So as you can see, I can demonstrate it as well. It's a wire puller. Mike, can you? Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
There we go.
So basically, if you put it on there, you want to remove some keycaps. You just basically slide it over like that. It will, once it's over, it will grip it, and then you just lift it up, and hopefully, it will not eject the keycap to outer space, but it will keep a hold of it. Yeah, there we go. Now, of course, most of the keycaps on the corners, you can easily, you can get your fingers around them, but it's especially useful for the keycaps like in the middle of the keyboard where you can't really grip them that well. So if you want to take a certain one out, just slip it over and pull it out. So that's a nice extra. Now let's connect this one. The one I have here is a GK50 Low Profile, Eric's favorite keyboard. And I'll just plug that one out for now, because for the rest of the stream I'm going to be using the GK71 Sonic. And as you can see, we've done a bit of cable management here through the monitor stand. So I'll have to gently make sure I
All those keyboards.
take it out. Yeah. Well, we have a nice selection of keyboards, I have to say. So we've got multiple really good choices here. So really depending on what you prefer.
And Peter actually stole mine for this live stream.
Borrowed.
Well, actually, I stole it from you because
I
it
was
used
gonna
to
say.
be your sample.
Yeah.
But I didn't give it back eventually.
No, I mean it's fine as long as we don't need it. You're free to use it. I think that was the deal, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. So I'm using the monitor USB hub. There we go. Yes.
Ooh, I see some RGB already.
Well, some white. Yeah. Let's see if I can do it like that. Oh, maybe. Wait, maybe we can try the Droid cam.
Yeah, sure.
Because with the phone, that might actually result in a bit better color.
I think I quickly need to reconnect.
Oh, yes.
And there we go.
Hey, there we go. All right. So as you can see, especially from the sides, not sure if I can focus on that. There we go. And this is just with a single color, so I'm gonna quickly switch to a bit more RGB here. And I mean, you have to remember this is a very light environment, meaning then if it's a bit darker, you can actually, the RGB. There we go.
I can fix that for you.
Maybe switch off the other lights as well.
Yeah, we'll do.
Hopefully this, usually phone cameras are quite good at picking that up. But as you can see, it's a nice light show that way. This is per key RGB, by the way. I mean, there are some predefined effects, obviously, but in the software you can also, make your own profiles fully. Also, the media keys, as you can see, they also change with the effect, so that's a nice touch. Even the status LEDs, and this has actually been the same on most of our recent keyboards, like GK50 Low Profile, GK50 Elite. They all have these status LEDs. They all change along with the profile and the effect that you have, which I think is a nice touch. If a lot of other keyboards I've seen, they will just, there'll be one single color like blue, white, or red, whatever, and it kind of breaks the effect. So yeah, it's a nice small touch that we've done. And to change the effect, really, I mean, there are some hotkeys here. So as you can see here, I'm just gonna do this, and now the effect changes. And I'll change it again. Sort of a little bit of a radar. Full RGB puke mode.
Troy is asking, will fully transparent keycaps look good? I think if you have the top transparent as well, you'll probably be blinded a little bit by the lights.
It's probably going to be it's going to be in your face, if you know what I mean. So it really is going to be very bright in your face. Also, I mean, if you can type blind, it's okay, but you know, you still, a lot of people need to be able to tell, you know, okay, which key do I need to press, or you know, so it's probably not very practical. It's blinding like this already. Yeah, I mean, that's because
it's really bright because of the
we turned the lights off because we really wanted to show you guys the light effect. And
but
it
you
looks
can
really
dim it
nice
on the keyboard as well.
And also, I think, you know, you can do a lot of things. So I've been switching effects, but what I should be able to do, and see if I can do that now, is I can, for example, speed up effects or slow them down. Like it's very slow now. And if I have, let me see, I need to, this is really fast again. Yeah, here we go. So basically now we have like a flow of RGB from left to right. And with one of the key shortcuts, basically the hotkeys, I should be able to, is it not? Oh wait, I had the wrong one. There we go. Basically, I can just switch the direction of the effect. So if I want it's now going right to left. And
Action Brother is asking on Twitch, missed part of the stream, but is there a version of this keyboard without the transparent keycaps? There is not a specific version, but it's a fully standard layout, and it's also compatible with just your regular MX style keycaps.
Yes.
So you can just put on a custom set of keycaps, whichever you prefer. So you can also get the ones without the translucent sides, of course. You can also get like the very cool color combinations. So you can customize a lot in terms of keycaps because of the standard layout with the MX style attachment mechanism.
That rotating RGB effect, yeah, it's one of the favorite ones indeed. And there's, you know, you can do a lot to customize that in the software as well. So it's, you know, these are just the basic effects you get with basically just the normal out of the box without any software whatsoever. Yeah, you could just change the direction.
Ghost General is asking, when is the keyboard available?
It should be available, I think now, pretty much, depending on your region, because it is still quite new. So
the US International will be available from now on, but still working on the different layout.
Yeah, and it depends on the country, because again, like a lot of European countries, it doesn't really make sense to offer a US International layout. In France, Germany, and I think a lot of other European
countries as well.
Yeah, Nordic countries, they have very specific layouts. So I mean, they may be able to work with the US International, but really it's not the version they go for. You have Belgium as well, indeed. So for Europe, I have heard that some localized layouts will be coming later this year, if you're interested in this one. Later this year, I mean maybe summer, late summer. But yeah, for now, only the US International layout is available. And that should be, you know, at least for US and Europe markets. APAC or the Asian market, I'm not sure. Can't find it online. Yeah, okay, so Ghost General is saying I'm from the USA, but I can't find it online. Probably it just takes a little bit of time for them to arrive. But they should be arriving there at least, you know, first half this year for sure. Yeah, Knight Rider indeed. Anyway, so yeah, really nice RGB effects. And in general, just a really nice keyboard. Just gonna go full RGB here again. Yeah, turn the lights on, that's right.
Yeah.
And then we can switch maybe back to the...
There we go.
Yes, to that one. In terms of, you know, how noisy is the keyboard, I think we're using the Lav mic now, right? So, but what I can do is we can actually switch to the GV60 again. And I'll do that now. Here we go. Hopefully, yeah, you guys can still hear me. All right. And what I'll do is I'll change the position
of the GV60. And right now, I mean, normally I heard somebody saying, hopefully, or something about, you know, picking up keyboard strokes or, you know, the keyboard while you're gaming. Normally that's a bad thing, right? But now we're actually going to purposely try and see if we can actually make it pick that up. So you can hear the effect. I'm going to turn up the volume a little bit, and I'm just going to pretend to type a bit. I'm typing a very strongly worded letter, Mike.
Maybe you can go into typewriter on your computer.
Not sure if I want to do typewriter, but I can do like a...
You can join a random lobby.
No, because I'm not really good at that. But what I could do is maybe, what is that, type test or something?
Yeah, sure.
Typing test. Right. So I'll do a 1-minute test with medium text.
Okay, let me capture you as well.
Oh God, are you sure?
Yes. And can you point the camera down a little bit, then we can see your hands?
Which, oh, here, this one. Yeah, we did it earlier. It disconnected when I did that, so let's hope it doesn't do that now. It's a bit of a wonky setup. This. Yeah, is this clear? Yeah. Well, wait. We need the wrist rest, obviously. Oh yeah, much better. All right. Start test. What do I need to, okay. All right, well, apparently I'm faster than the average typist, which does 36, was it 36 words or? Yeah, words per minute, all right. I have 73.
Switch back to the lav mic, yeah.
Yeah. So what did you think of the sound? A little bit of keyboard ASMR.
Yeah, so this is the red key indeed, and it kind of fits because later on we'll show you guys a bit as well. But the red key is linear usually, meaning no click, also no tactile bump. So when you press down, you also don't feel any point where it kind of goes click or something. You don't feel the bump.
That BC77 is asking blues ? I think you have some keywords right beside you.
We have, yeah.
Maybe we can have like a little bit of a sound comparison.
Yeah, we can. Let me check. Actually, we have two different ones. Let me see which one this one is. Yeah.
Troy says, "Hey Mike, share some of your cola with Peter. That's not COVID proof."
No, indeed, not allowed. So right here, what we have is a GK50 Elite in the just the regular blue variant. I'll just show you guys up close. You can see. Here we go. So this is with the regular blue switch, the MX style. So not the boxed. I'll take that one out in a bit as well. So this is the regular blue switch, and shall I do the same test on that? Although I don't know if I can also connect that one. I'll just simulate it. How about that?
Do you have a USB connector on the front of your case? It's maybe easier to plug it in there.
I can try. But I do think that one of them is I'm using with the... they're actually both in use.
You also plug the microphone in there.
Yeah, yeah, for fast and easy access, and also my USB stick for the slides. So I'll see if I can run it to the back real quick for you guys. Anything for you guys, all right? You better appreciate this.
Action Brothers asking GK50 Low Profile, is it clicky or linear? That one's clicky.
Clicky, yeah. I mean, that one is here. Which microphone are we using? Lav, right?
Right now we are.
Yeah. So this is GK50 Low Profile, this one. So yeah, clicky. All right, so now I'll switch to the blue, the GK50 Elite with blue switches. Switch to the GV60 again, and I'll retake the test. Or, I mean, I can train, doesn't matter. Oh, what the hell? Oh, wow, no, that's way too long. All right, anyway. What? All right, well. Yeah, so this is really, this was the blue, which is the OG clicky, I guess you could call it, right? That's, although maybe IBM is maybe more OG, but still. This is the type of key or the type of switch that most people will associate with the clicky. Which, you know, there's like a click and a bit of a rattle in it as well. And then, yeah, we also have the white, the box white, which is also clicky, but I mean, yeah, I can basically just side by side. Here is the blue again, and here's the box white. Blue, box white. So there is a bit of a difference there. Both are, you know, are clicky, but the box white. I mean, the blue one is a bit, let's just say, higher pitched. I would say it sounds a bit more plasticky for me as well, which, you know, it's fine. It's not a bad thing, but it's. I'm just trying to describe the difference. Whereas the box white just sounds a bit more. It's a bit of a deeper sound to me, even though it's also very crisp still. And the difference between...
I quickly switched to the left mic, by the way. One of the differences in the click mechanism, if you have a box white compared to a regular blue switch, is that the box white has a click mechanism when going downwards, but also when releasing the key. So when the key is going upwards again, you also have a click. So basically you can feel when you activate it, but also when you deactivate it.
When
Whereas
you release it.
On the blue switch, you only feel it when you activate it. So you only get the click on the way down and not a click on the way up again.
That's right, because I mean, I can show and let you guys hear it as well.
I will
Here's
switch
the blue switch
to your mic again, by the way.
Yeah, when I have the blue switch here now, indeed, and when I click, when I press it in, you can hear at some point there's a click. But when I release it, there's nothing. When I click it in, there's something, nothing. Right, so that's the difference. And on the white, the box white, is both ways. So when I click it, when I press it in, there's a click, and when I release it, there's another one. So there's two clicks basically. And also the difference between the switches and the whole reason why it's called box, the box white in this case, is because of, I mean, you also get the little cross, the stem basically, but there's this white box around it, this square box.
and this serves a couple of purposes, but the main ones are that it provides a bit more stability for the keycap. So basically you will get probably less, or you should get less wobble of the keycap on box. And secondly, it protects a little bit more against anything like dust, dirt, or moisture ingression in the keycap, or sorry, in the switch. So that's also why the box, one of the reasons why the box switches are also rated to last more key presses, or one of the reasons why, because there's less dust. It's a bit more resistant to all of that as well. They also feel a bit differently because of that, and sound a bit differently. So they're quite distinct, even though both are clicky, both are mechanical. So yeah, it's really double the clicks indeed, if you like that. But I'd say that the blue one is a bit of a louder click. Let's say it's a bit of a louder click, sharper, louder. And the box white, the click is still there. It's very satisfying to type on still. And indeed you get double the clicks basically, but you don't really notice it while you're typing that it clicks both ways. Only when you're really paying attention to that. But yeah, both are really satisfying as well. The GK71 that we were talking about, of course, is not clicky at all. It's a linear switch, and it's very low operating force. So basically, yeah, even if you accidentally, while testing it, I had some times where I'm used to, a heavier switch like the GK50 Elite. If you're used to resting your hands on the keyboard, like I learned to do blind typing when I was young, and basically, you learn the basic position of how to place your hands on the keyboard, and then from that position you can find all the keys. But when you do that, you're used to, I don't know, maybe resting your fingers a bit on it, and then nothing happens because, well, it takes a certain amount of force to press in any certain key. When you do that with the GK71, you may find that in some cases you're accidentally pressing keys while you don't really notice it, because it's way lighter to activate. So that's something you may need to get used to. But while gaming, I have to say, and especially after a couple of games on it, you get used to it pretty quickly, and it's very enjoyable to type and game on. Yeah, without going into too much detail, I think I have some slides for this keyboard, so I can also quickly show you guys. So it's a GK71 Sonic light touch instant kill.
Let me switch the microphone.
Yeah.
There we are.
Yeah. And as you can see, I mean, just for context here as well, I've included some a graph where it really shows that the feedback type, the pre-travel is quite low, 1.9 millimeters. I think 2 is the standard, so it's still not that different than the regular the other switches that you are likely to come across.
Basically, the standard red switches.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. The big difference is the operating force, because I think standard is around 50.
45 for reds usually.
Okay, 45. Yeah. So this one is.
It depends a bit from brand to brand, but usually linear red switches are around 45 grams.
Yeah. And I mean, you could probably go even lower than 35 grams, but it's probably not very practical, because in the end, you'll always be resting your fingers on the keys to a certain degree, meaning if you make them much lighter, like say, I don't know, 25, you will probably end up with a lot of accidental key presses that you didn't intend to make.
Actually, we did some testing with early samples, and we also tested the keyboard with even lighter switches.
Yes.
So I was testing that at home, and at a certain point, my game controller, I have a wireless game controller usually, but it was empty, so I plugged in the USB cable, and I was playing the game, and I accidentally pressed the Windows key on the keyboard
Yeah.
while playing Rocket League.
With
So all
the
of a
cable.
sudden the taskbar popped up.
Yeah.
And there is a way to switch the Windows key off, of
Yes.
course, but
Yeah.
even the cable could cause accidental key
Yeah.
presses there.
Yeah, yeah. Because I mean, and that's the thing, right? So there's like an ideal, I guess, balance between making the operating force as light as possible. So it's for if you're really like a Twitch gamer, like with the really you need to do fast and or you want to do fast, or you just prefer light key presses because you if you have the heavier keys, you kind of maybe your fingers get tired or something. There can be a lot of reasons to choose a lighter key or lighter switch, but yeah, at some point it's going to be more annoying than functional, let's say, at least from our experience as well. So I think this one, if you prefer light switches, this one is one of the, if not the lightest switch that you will find in production, basically, as one of the main brands. Of course, there can always be specialized switches that are maybe even lighter. And as always with things like keyboards and switches, for me, I always tell people to go and try them, because the thing is, we can tell you the information, we can give you the information, the specifications, we can even try to explain to you, how it feels. We can try to let you experience it a bit.
So preference based.
Exactly, but it's such a personal choice, kind of like with a mouse as well, right? I mean, which shape do you prefer? What weight? How long or tall should the mouse be? All those kinds of things. That's such a personal choice. What's perfect for one person can be atrocious for another.
Yeah, and that also depends on hand size and stuff like
Yep.
that. And also a keyboard also depends very much on what you're going to do with it. Are you going to type on it all day? Are you going to play games? If you game, what kind of games do you play? So there's so many variables that can decide whether or not a specific keyboard is the perfect keyboard for you, or it can make it a horrible keyboard for you. So it's extremely
circumstantial.
Subjective.
Really depends on what you're using it for and what you prefer as well. But that's a nice thing, right? We have a lot of different types of switch, and I've actually got a little nice thingy here that shows you, at least for the current lineup, except for the, can we switch it close up?
Yes.
Yeah. Except for the low profile, that one's not included. But basically, as you can see here, we go from this side, and I'm trying to read this on the screen. So this is scale box white. It's clicky and it requires 45 grams of force to push down. I can actually remove the keycap so you can actually see the different switches underneath them. It's maybe a bit more useful. Here we go. And there's the Kale Blue, which is also clicky but requires 50 grams. So it's a little bit heavier than the box white. Then there's the Kale Red, which is linear, so no click. Requires 50, I think it says, right?
Yep.
There's a bit of a glare on there, so I can't see it. And then there's the Sonic Red, which is also linear, but is much, much lighter to press down. And so, this is basically, we can use this to test. It's like a test sample, I guess, or to show people the difference and let them experience it. And I think this really captures also the essence that, try it. If you can go into a store where you have keyboards, try out and see which one you like best. Because you can really tell that even from pressing it. There's a lot of difference in the sound, in the amount of force, in the feeling when you press down. As you can really hear the rattle, by the way. That's blue. And then there's the white, which is way more crisp. And then there's the linear one, so this is the Kale Red.
Saltiest Waltiest make a very good point in YouTube chat. It has to be a hard sell over the internet with items that are really based on how it feels.
Yeah,
yes, for
it's
sure.
all about the experience on this one and what you prefer. It's that's what we said earlier as well. It's such a personal choice.
So
that's
it's indeed
also why
really difficult with this one.
Well, I'm not sure. I mean, again, like we're not really saying choose one or the other. What we are, all we're trying to do is explain that there are differences, where the differences are, where they can be found, how you can experience the differences. And then ultimately, if you're looking to buy one of these, it's really up to you, what you prefer and what you're looking for.
Yeah, I would always advise people that are buying their first mechanical keyboard, because if you already had a couple of mechanical keyboards, you usually know what you prefer.
Yeah.
But if you're going for your first mechanical keyboard, try out at least 3 different types. One is linear, one is tactile, and one is clicky. So those are basically the 3 main categories that you can place mechanical switches under.
Maybe we can, this ties into the slides I also prepared. This is very basic, basically, to show you guys, if you're new to the mechanical keyboards and switches and you don't really know what it is.
So before you order anything, try out these 3 categories
and
at
like
least.
we mentioned, there's an infinite amount. It doesn't have to be these colors specifically. There are different colors that have the same properties, just slight differences. But we're trying to simplify it into the basic categories. Those are these 3 indeed. So as Mike mentioned, you've got linear. Linear basically means just up and down, no bump, no click, just up and down in the same motion. Then clicky. Clicky means that you get the tactile bump, so you feel a bump at some point, but you also hear it. There's a click sound. Those are the ones we also just heard earlier as well, with both the blue ones and box white, for example, but there are a lot of different clicky ones as well. And there's tactile. Tactile means you get the bump as you press down, that you feel a point at which it clicks basically, but you don't hear it. So it's not audible, it's only tactile. And that's the difference between the clicky and the tactile.
And that doesn't mean that tactile switches are extremely silent, for example, because you still get the sound from bottoming out the key, the same that you will get with linear switches. But with clicky switches, on top of that, you will also have the click sound of the switch.
And then next to that, I mean, this is, as it says in the slide here, this is high level, basically. This is really simplified as far as you can do.
Nowadays, you've got so many different kinds for each category.
Here's one level deeper, because once you basically have those 3 basic categories, right? You've got the linear, the clicky, and the tactile. Then within those categories, you can still find these categories as well. So you have and I put this in quotations, regular, because this is...
So basically the MX style, like you know from the Cherry switch?
These are the most well-known, I guess, and the most used, at least from years and years ago. Indeed, Cherry MX is one of the best-known ones, I think. But it's just, it has that cross...
stem,
that cross stem basically. Then you have the box, which we also use on the GK50 Elite, with the box around the stem basically. And you have speed switches. You can't really see it here, but basically they have very short travel, and they can also combine that with very low actuation force, like we do with the GK71 Sonic with those switches. So basically, you make them as fast as possible, right? That's the goal for speed.
So basically, shorter travel distance before you activate the switch.
That's the main thing, indeed, because it just basically means you have to press it.
You don't have to press it down as far.
Indeed, to get the register the key press. And then you have the silent keys, which basically means they include some kind of mechanism, can be just a little damper or something, to counter the sound of bottoming out the keys, basically. So the goal for the silent keys is really to be as silent as possible. I think it's quite self-explanatory.
There's, by the way, also a trick to do this on, for example, regular MX style switches. They're like the rubberized O-rings. You can put them underneath the keycap, and that will also dampen the clack sound of bottoming out your keys.
And then there's a low profile, and there's probably even more, right? But these are also just some basic keycaps or keys switches that you can come across. Low profile, and low profile is originally, I think, built purposely for using in laptops, for example. But they're also becoming quite popular in just separate keyboards as well, especially for typing for offices. For me as well, it's really satisfying to type on. And within each of these categories, regular, box, speed, silent, low profile, and I do mean every one, even silent, you can find things like linear, clicky, and tactile. And so yes, we have found examples of silent, clicky switches, which had us scratching our heads like.
Yeah, they were
but
the
I mean,
box mute Jade, I think they
Yeah.
were. So the Jade ones are
Yeah.
usually like very loud, clicky box
Yeah.
switches.
Yeah.
And with the mute, they basically took out the bottoming out sound, so the clack sound is gone, but
Yeah.
the loud click is still there.
Yeah.
So it's
it seems a bit
it's a very
contradictory.
confusing switch.
Yeah, it seems a bit contradictory because it's like, okay, it's mute, so it's silent, but it has the clicky thing, so it's not silent at all, you know. So it's,
It was an interesting
anyway.
combination to see. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, but I guess, you know, and that's why we mentioned, you know, there are so many different combinations, and most of the variations aren't even in clicky and non-clicky. They're actually mostly in travel distance and operating force. There's like a lot of different combinations. Some are very light, like our GK71 that I've got here, but you've also got some switches that are actually extremely heavy, that you really have to, you know, use a bit of force to press down. People like Michiel actually prefer a bit heavier switches usually.
I'm a
He
very
is what we
heavy,
refer
loud
to-
typist.
Yeah, exactly. He's what we refer to as an angry-sounding typist. You know, if he's just typing away for his work, he's you know, he's not angry
I'm
at
just
all.
smacking my
But if you
keyboard around.
just be hearing him typing, you'd be like, dude, who pissed you off? You know, it's like, whoa, dude, all right, calm down. But you know, that's just his typing style, and so for everybody is different. Eric is a somewhat lighter typist, and he prefers the low-profile switches as well now. So for everybody is different. But yeah, so there's a lot of different switch types, and really ultimately it's up to you. And we offer we're starting to offer quite a nice range now, so there should be something in there for most people. I think it's time for another giveaway, Mike. What do you think?
I think that's a very good idea.
And then after that, we'll continue with our last product for today.
So if you haven't participated yet, go to msi.com/2/insider, or if you're watching on Twitch or YouTube, once every 5 minutes our bot will also put a direct link to the Gleam giveaway in the chat. If you follow that link, you will of course end up in Gleam. There you can perform certain actions, and the more actions you perform, the bigger chance you will have to win. So we have our next winner for today. Oh, Peter, maybe you can switch to your mic and do it in ASMR again.
Oh God, do we have to?
Let me try that and see if this still works. Yeah, here we go. Okay. Our next winner, his name is Mad Honk. So congratulations, Mad Honk, on winning a copy of Rainbow Six Extraction. If you also want to win a copy of the game, don't forget to participate, and we'll give away some more copies of the game later on in the stream. And yeah, let's get on with the show, I guess, right?
I've re-enabled the Lav Mic now, for just FYI, so you can participate in the conversation again, Mike.
Yes, I'm back. Schnips is saying on Twitch chat, oh, Jades are for when you hate your roommate/co-workers. Yeah, if I type on Jades,
I think that's a good
people will
description
go
of Mike, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds like him.
Yeah, but the Jade switches, they also have like this heavier click bar than, for example, Box White. So the click is even louder. So if I start typing on Jades or Box Navies, because they use the same click bar but with slightly heavier spring, then I think I'm not welcome in the office anymore.
If you really want to go overboard, and I've got an idea now, which I will pitch to our our R&D department, which is basically when you press down every single switch, you know, once you press down, you get an air horn sound. And I mean, like, you know, the full blast, not just a little bit, but like, you know, full. Yeah, that's if you really hate the people around you. Anyway, all right, let's move on to the next product. If you guys have questions about it, then of course Mike will pick them out of the chat, hopefully.
Yes.
Mike just wants a private office. No, he has that. It's called his home.
Yeah. I have a separate room in my house where I can type as loud as I want.
His girlfriend kicked him out of the living room and said, "Here, you go live in the attic with your keyboard and your loud friggin' rattling." All right. Anyway, yeah, I think we can switch to the next product.
Actually, in our house, we have like this little, we call it our game attic. So we have my PC and my girlfriend's PC right next to each other, and I'm not allowed to use a clicky keyboard there anymore because I was too loud. So I only have a clicky keyboard in my home office right now, but not at my game PC.
No.
Unfortunately.
First world problems right there, brah.
Exactly.
All right then, our next product
This is also a nice one.
The GK50 Low Profile TKL. And for those of you who don't know, TKL stands for Tenkeyless. And it's called Tenkeyless because it doesn't have a numpad. And I'm going to unbox it for you guys
yes,
first.
we know the numpad are more than 10 keys, but it's basically because it's 0, 1, 2, 3, 4,
exactly.
5, 6, 7, 8,
This
9.
name was thought out by somebody who was doing quick maths. And straight off the bat, you can see something. This keyboard comes with a nice carrying bag, which protects it and is ideal for when you want to, take it with you, I don't know, to work, to friends, to annoy everybody, because it's clicky.
Mr. Mastodog says TKL is the way. I agree. I also really like Tenkeyless keyboards. Because when I play a video game, and if it's a shooter game, I require a lot of mouse space with my sensitivity.
Well, there you go. So basically, if you guys are familiar with our regular GK50 Low Profile, it is the same concept, and it uses the exact same switches as well. Chalk white, I think. Yeah, Kale Chalk white, which I should be able to show you once I pull one off. A keycap, here we go. So this is Kale Chalk white. It was the low profile switch in the presentation just now. And it also it's like a miniature or a flattened version of the box wide switch, I would say, because it also has it has the same click bar, pretty much, and
it's also made by the same manufacturer.
Yeah, and it also clicks both ways. So see if I can let you guys hear this, but pressing it in, click, and releasing it, also a click.
Yeah, so in terms of characteristics, the box wide and these low profile chalk white boxes are very, very similar.
Yes.
Main difference, of course, being the travel distance.
Travel distance, and I'm not sure the operating force.
I think they're quite close as well. They're not too far, I think.
Yeah, they shouldn't be too far apart. But yeah, indeed, so low profile. And I'm just going to put this one back on here. But also, by the way, the keycaps for that one, they don't have like the stem or the
yeah, like the little cross, the MX stem. That is quite familiar. That one is of course too big for a low profile switch.
Yeah, because that would stand out a bit. So that's also why this is a bit different.
And they do exist with those stems. Like for example, if you have the Cherry low profile switches, but they tend to be slightly higher, not as low profile as these switches are. Yeah,
indeed. It is still floating key design, even though the keys are not floating quite as high up, and the keycaps themselves are also not as high. They're more like almost like laptop sized, I guess. A nice brushed finish aluminum, as you can see. It's other than the fact that it's Tenkeyless, it's very similar to the regular GK50 Low Profile, which also got a lot of great reviews. So that's also why we thought, if you have a good concept, don't change too much about it. Just make sure if you want to do a TKL version about it, you keep the characteristics the same as much as possible, with a couple of notable exceptions. One, I think it has one more level of adjustability of the incline here. So you get two different ones instead of just one. I think the original GK50 Low Profile only gets a single level of that. And I think more importantly, we saw some people asking about it before, the cable can be disconnected basically. It can be
it's a detachable cable.
Yes.
And a regular USB Type-C.
It's Type-C as well, indeed, yeah.
Oof. Saltiest, Waltiest says, my old keyboard died because I'd like to drink my beer too much.
Hey, wow.
And Raphael had a 750 watt power supply falling victim to beer.
Let's just say they had a good send-off then, I guess, right? There's worse ways to go than beer.
That's true.
All right. Yeah. So the cable is included as well. It's a braided cable. Also, again with the what is it? The rubber cable management strap, basically. So any leftover cable you can just you can put together, put it around, and yeah, manage that cable. Type C. I think this is like a gilded, a bit of a golden shade of it.
Gold-plated.
Gold-plated, I think. Yeah. So, I mean, I've seen some people or some marketing about this saying, it's better it gives a better connection or something. No, it doesn't. The only thing it does is that it will prevent corrosion a bit more. It resists corrosion, like oxidation, a bit more than just bare metal or aluminium or something like that. So it is still somewhat useful, just not for the connection, because it's, also this is the outside casing. It's the same for like the outside of the
actual
connector
connection part is on the inside.
Exactly. I mean, this is just the outside. This is basically just a protective cover. That's pretty much what it is. The actual connector part,
that's where you can see the pins.
Yes, like the pins on the inside.
So this is only 4 pins with USB 2.0 in this case.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Anyway, Type C connector. Plug it in. And that's the nice thing about Type C, right? You can plug it in. You don't have to worry about which side is...
you don't have to turn it twice?
Is upright. Yeah, exactly. You don't have to do like the all right, well, we got 50-50 chance, Let's see, yeah. I think we're ready to go. Then I'll plug it in again. Behind the PC. Let's see. Let's see if I can do it without knocking over my glass of water. Yes.
Like right. if you kill hardware, at least do it with beer, right?
Oh yeah, exactly. If you're gonna do it well. Fair enough. Let's switch to Droid Cam again. Yes.
Now we'll switch the lights off again.
Oh yes, please do. Dim them lights. So yeah, I mean it's especially compared to the GK71, which is still alive and kicking above it. I mean, there's a little bit less RGB, and I'll see if I can do like a similar effect, so it's a bit more comparable. I'm not sure if this one does the, yeah, there we go, the full RGB spin. But it's still quite okay. I mean, it's like this GK71 has a bit more, obviously a bit more side bleed, like, there's a bit more light coming through the side of the switches, obviously, because they're semi-transparent. This one, it's a bit more projecting the RGB on the metal plate.
Yeah, on the base plate, basically.
On the base plate, indeed. But it still looks pretty damn nice. And it has the same hotkeys as the GK71. I mean, that's pretty much how do you say it? It's the same on all our keyboards. We try to keep that consistent, obviously. So you can just pick whatever effect you want. Just switch sides, make it brighter, make it dim it. You can pretty much do all of that just straight from the keyboard itself.
Rafael says it needs a USB hub and microphone out. Well, the thing is, especially if you want to, for example, include audio ports, the cost of a keyboard will go up quite a bit, and many people nowadays use a USB headset. So personally, I wouldn't say that
it's worth
adding those are worth it nowadays. Yeah. USB hub could be a 1, but I wouldn't say that the Tenkeyless one is the perfect model for that.
No. I mean, yeah, well, it depends. But if you really want to, the usual use case for a TKL is if you have like a small desk, limited space, or you really just hate the numpad. That's also it's a valid reason.
Or if you go to LAN parties a lot and want to be able to take it with you easily, that's also why it comes with a nice travel case.
Yes, yeah, with the carrier bag here indeed, which it protects it. It's fairly light, but it still offers quite a bit of protection. This one, I think, oh, here we go, yeah. So the status LED, as you can see here, again, also changes color with the rest of the keyboard, the rest of the effects. So that's nice. They all stay in character. And yeah, I mean, it's it's a really nice keyboard. And again, it's really the same concept as the GK50 Low Profile, just 10 key less. Well, more than 10 keys less, but yeah, you get the point. So yeah, but you have a lot of space here for for mouse movement, and if you're like Mike and you use a mouse at low sensitivity, you need that space.
Yep.
So I can hear Mike waiting with bated breath because right after I'm done with showing you guys this, I'm gonna pass it on to him so that when we're gonna play a game in a bit, then he can use this keyboard.
You know that chances are that you're not getting it back then, right?
We'll see about that. We'll see about that. But I think we can switch back to the main view now and maybe go to the capture.
Repo is asking, is there a USB pass-through on any of these keyboards? No, these do not have USB pass-through.
Negative. Here I am in the dark.
Let's create some light again.
Yes, let's.
There we go.
By the way, also included in the box with the GK50 Low Profile TKL.
Oh, I'm destroying my green screen.
Oh no!
Let me
Is the
fix
Keycap
that.
Puller. I'll see if I can.
There we go.
Detailed cam. Here we go. The Keycap Puller, just as I showed earlier before as well. The wire Keycap Puller, and are they in here? Oh yeah, they are. Okay, and 2 extra keycaps, which are, and I can never keep these apart. The one are concave and the other are convex, and I'm not sure. These are the ones that kind of are outward.
Hello, camera. Focus. Ah, there we are.
I'm gonna try and get them out. Wow, this is quite. All right. Wow. Am I missing something here? Are they like sticking together? Jeez. All right. Here
There we go.
Yes. So basically, meaning, these are, yeah. How do you say that? Like outward.
Rounded, basically.
Yeah. Outward,
Curved
outward,
keycaps.
outward curved or rounded, indeed. While the normal keycaps, and this is basically the left control and alt, if I'm not mistaken.
But is it 1500R or 1000R?
I have no idea. But here you have the differences. I'm not sure if we can see that, but the regular keycap that's on here is this one. That one is, it's hollow basically, and one of it's, yeah, there we go. Concave is in, so this one is concave, and this one is convex, so outward. And that's basically, what the one that you prefer. And these are just the outside. Show you guys. This control and this alt keycaps can be switched out, and it's basically, I guess, because that's where if you're going to use that, probably it's your pinky, because you're holding it like that, right? And it's your pinky reaching all the way there. And some people, I guess, prefer it a bit more if it's bulging out, so it's just a little bit easier to press instead of the. And
that's
the
usually
concave.
also you use it a lot for keyboard shortcuts.
Yeah.
Control C, Control V, Control A.
I mean,
Control Z.
Yeah, it's the same that some people, including myself, actually, when I read this, I was a bit skeptical. But some people apparently, what they do is with their space bar, not with the space bar on the low profile, because it doesn't jot out quite as bad. But this, if you see, and if you use the keyboard in a regular angle, here this edge is really, it's basically just it's even at more than a 90-degree angle, meaning that if you're holding it normally, you're probably going to hit your finger on it more on the corner than on the space bar itself, than on the square on the top of it. So basically what some people have taken to doing is basically taking it off, flipping it around, and then putting it back on, so that it's more, I'll see if I can show you guys, so that it's more, the top is more facing you than going away from you. And this is a bit, these space bars are also held together by more than just one switch, by the way. I can also show you guys that. So
It's also the stabilizer mechanism underneath.
exactly. On this side, here we go. So this is the switch itself, and then here's one stabilizer, and there's the other one. So that basically that's done so that no matter where you press the space bar, it basically requires the same amount of force, and it's still stable and it doesn't wobble.
And you will find that under all bigger keys. So basically, the shift keys both have it, the enter key has it, the backspace has it.
Yeah, yeah. So when I turn this around, and this actually makes quite a lot of sense when you think about it. As you can tell, right here, you can probably, maybe if I switch this up just a bit here. Let's see, this too extreme of an angle, but you can see that the angle of the spacebar is quite different than the keys before it. And basically this angle of approach, let's just call it, is more right on to your fingers, to how your hand is placed. So it's not, you're not really hitting the edge of the keycap, but rather the top of it. So this is actually, I thought that, I read that and I was like, yeah, right, you know, who's gonna turn their keycaps around? That's like a stupid idea, right? And I tried it, I was like, yeah, actually, yeah, that's a pretty good idea. It feels good. Anyway. Not sure if any of you have ever tried that, but I was quite surprised at that.
Raphael says you should make a braille keyboard for blind people, please. I think blind people will usually, well, maybe sounds ironic, but they will usually learn how to type blind as well. Like for example, if I type, I don't watch my keyboard at all.
No.
And I think if you're having trouble seeing, then that's definitely something you should learn.
Yeah, but I think there are keyboards indeed with, you know, I think it's called Braille, right?
But I think that should
bumps.
be especially for learning how to type blind, but
Maybe.
afterwards it shouldn't matter anymore.
I guess indeed it's similar to once you know the position, you know, like a muscle reflex, because that's what blind typing as well. You know, if you what they call blind typing, at least for us, you know, is that you don't have to look down at the keys anymore. You just instinctively know where each key is, basically. And I guess for blind people, indeed, that it works the same. You know, they probably learn with the bumps, indeed, with the Braille, to learn where the position of each key is. But you know, once you get it into your muscle memory, probably you don't even need it anymore. The only thing is that, you know, we can, by looking at the screen, we can see if we're actually hitting the right keys, right? And if our hand position is wrong, the text will come out all scrambled, and we know, oh, all right, you know, I'm hitting the wrong keys.
Yeah, but I think they've got
that's the thing, maybe for you know, visually impaired people, I guess. Maybe
I think you have like the accessibility features that it, for example, reads out what you're typing.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, that could be. Yeah. Anyway.
But yeah, on a regular keyboard, you always have the bumps on like the F and the J keys. So that's just to position your hands, and based on that, if you can type blind, then you should be able to reach everything without looking at your keyboard.
Terry Shaw, are you using it? Did you try it just now, or is that something you already that you already noticed and tried before? Because he's also saying, yeah, it's someone who has a short left thumb, chop saw. Unlucky, I guess, but I hope you're all right. It's weird, but slightly comfy, as in when you turn the space key around. Yeah. Could that space key switch method work for the GK50 Elite? Yes. Yeah. Any full-size keycaps, basically, the taller ones, let's say, the normal ones, not the low-profile ones.
Yeah.
For those, yes, it can work, and it makes the most sense as well.
And there are some very specific custom keycap types where it doesn't work because they're symmetrical, basically, if you turn them around.
Yeah. No, I mean, okay, so Terry also says he did just try it just now, never thought about flipping it before. Me neither. I found it somewhere, and I just thought, that's
Haven't you seen it on my keyboard before? Because I with my previous keyboard, I'd always have it turn around because that edge of the spacebar was quite sharp, so I flipped it.
Yeah, maybe. And it's a lot of people. Like, it's one of these things when you read about it, you just think, yeah, whatever. You know, it sounds like a dumb thing.
Maybe it looks a little bit weird, but once you type in it, you notice that it's actually more comfortable.
It is, yeah, because you're not hitting the sharp edge of the spacebar. You're hitting the top, which is more comfortable for your thumb, I guess. Anyway. Should we do a little bit of ASMR for this one as well?
Yeah, sounds good.
All right.
Switching to the GV60. Oh, am I still audible? Can you check? Oh yeah, it is working. Okay, I didn't see it.
Turn the camera a little bit.
Oh, this one. Yeah, let's see. Oof. It's still working? Yeah, okay. All right, so let's try another retake test. I think, And so this will be the GK50 Low Profile TKL with the chock white. So that's a clicky mechanical low profile switch. Oh wait, I had the caps lock on. Anyway, not my best result, obviously, but it's not really about that. It's more about the sound it makes while typing. Hope you guys got a clear sound of that. Yeah, so again, it's very different typing experience. For me, I like it for both for gaming, but especially for typing. The low profile switch is really, and I think a lot of reviewers I saw and people in general seem to have this sentiment towards the low profile switches that especially for typing and general office work or typing in general seems to be a very, very satisfying and something that they prefer it for most. Tippity tappity, yeah. Team typing deathmatch. Anyway, so yeah, it's different sound, different experience. It is very similar to typing on the regular size GK50 Low Profile, which was also a really nice experience. So Mike, you have to watch out. If you're going to use this TKL version, you might want to watch out because Eric may want to try it as well.
Famously, he still hasn't...
I will just hide it from him.
Yeah, famously, he still hasn't given back his sample yet, and I think he's never gonna. And that's fine. But yeah, once you find a keyboard that you just somehow... And this is, I think, proves what we were saying about, you need to try it and it's very personal. Because before Eric tried the GK50 Low Profile, he was kind of making fun of it, like, with your clicky low profile switches, come on.
He didn't use a mechanical keyboard.
No,
before,
he was
right?
making fun out of it.
He was always using that old horrible membrane thing.
Yeah, because he was like, he was one of those guys saying, I always use this. This is good enough for me, whatever, with your mechanical, fancy, blah, blah, clickety clackety, whatever. But, then we said, well, why don't you try it? And he tried it, and, he just started liking it. And he was like, yeah, there is something to this,
It's also a bit like that for high refresh rate monitors. Like many people, before they actually tried it, like, you won't see the difference or it doesn't matter, but once you actually
I can only see 30 FPS, or what was it?
But once you actually try a high refresh rate monitor, it's, once you're used to it, it's so hard to go back.
Yeah, Mastodox, I think you're right. Once you go mechanical, you can't go back. Well, you can actually, and I've
once
actually...
you go mech,
I have gone back, and I guess it differs per person. I can still, type and have a relatively enjoyable experience on a membrane keyboard. Yeah, I can. Yeah, but eventually, I always kind of I'm glad when I'm back typing on a mechanical. So I guess
I'm
to a
annoyed
degree.
right away when typing on a membrane.
Oh, I noticed that as well. I noticed the difference, but it's not to say that I think that it's a horrible experience.
Oh, for me, it really bothers me. But it's the same with 60 hertz because I'm so used to high refresh rate for years now. Yeah. It instantly annoys me when I'm not using it.
Yeah, you do get used to it. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Anyway, so. Any questions about the keyboard still, guys? I think Oh, by the way, for the GK50 Low Profile TKL, This one should be available in also pretty much all local layouts as well. Also starting, well, right now, in some countries it will probably already be available. In other countries it should become available quite soon. It may still be shipping. I mean, it's just, you know, we're just after Chinese New Year, the Lunar New Year. So the whole of China has been pretty much off for about a week. So it will usually take a bit of time for things to get going again, both, you know, in the factories production, but also logistics and stuff like that. So some shipments, some products may be delayed a little bit, but they should be on their way if they're not there already. So yeah, if you're interested in a TKL version, Tenkeyless version of the GK50 Low Profile with the mechanical switches, the clicky kind, there is one available now.
BC77 says, so he tried it and never gave it back. Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
Basically also what happened for me when I took the GK50 Elite Box White one.
Yeah.
I didn't give it back either.
And you are very specific when it comes to keyboards, right? I mean, you have a lot of, you've tried a lot of keyboards. You're actually like I would say maybe a keyboard enthusiast, is fair to say.
Yeah, keyboard nerd. Basically.
Yeah, or enthusiasts. I mean, you've got people who basically just buy a keyboard and whatever they have, that's fine. Like Eric used to be, you know, it's like whatever he has, you accept it, and that's fine. But you actually had keyboards. I think you even had keyboards where you could change the switches, right?
Yeah, the hot swappable.
And you even did that. So I mean, it's fair to say that, you know, you tried a lot of them. And
I've even been soldering in the past before hot swappable switches were.
By the way, while we're talking, I'm also
soldering switches, soldering new ones on.
I'm also gonna give the keyboard, the TKL, to.
In the meanwhile, I'm going to pick another winner.
Yeah, we're running a little bit behind on schedule.
Yes.
There you go.
I've got the Tenkeyless here.
I'll plug it in for you.
Nice, thanks. So if you haven't participated yet, go to msi.com/2/insider. Or if you're watching on YouTube or Twitch, you can also follow the direct link to Gleam that our bot will put in the chat once every 5 minutes. And our next winner, who I actually saw in the chat only a couple of minutes ago, congratulations, Action Brother. You also won a game code for Rainbow Six Extraction. So to you and the other prize winners, please keep an eye out on your mailbox, because we will email the code to you in the coming days with some instructions on how to redeem it. And if you didn't win yet, make sure to sign up right now, because we will have at least one more winner, maybe even two. And now let me quickly switch the screen. Let me see what is most convenient. I'm going to switch to that one, and then I'm going to put the chat here on top, because I need this monitor game on.
Yes. All right. Okay. And then yeah, maybe while we're in the game, we can switch to the GV60 microphone as well, so you guys can hear you know, me talking while I'm gaming and typing. And then at the same time, what I can do, because you probably will be able to hear the keyboard then, even though it's not the clicky kind. I'm using the GK71 Sonic linear switches, but you'll probably still hear it bottoming out. And maybe if I can manage it during the gameplay, I'll see if I can then also activate SoundTune or RTX voice to try and filter it out and see if you guys notice the difference. Oh, can you still put the chat on the other monitor?
Yeah, I will put it on top.
Ah, okay, yeah. Cheers.
You have to do the microphone switching, by the way.
Yes, no problem.
Now you should be able to see it again.
Yeah, I see it. Hold skip. I hope you guys can hear the audio as well. That's NT, all right. Let's get going.
My game is still optimizing shaders.
Yeah, people can still hear you as well. I haven't switched.
I know.
I haven't switched to the GV60 quite yet, guys. I'll do that once we're in a game. First, we have to see if we can actually find each other in the game. I'm waiting for Mike to get online, I guess.
Yeah, it's almost done with the...
Yeah, I can't see him yet. Rage quit is also keyboard smash. Yeah. All right, here. So if the game sound is too loud, guys, let us know. We can turn it down if need be. Has the game started yet?
It's the load up screen right now.
Ah, okay. For some reason, by the way, guys, Windows keeps trolling me by it keeps activating the what is it?
Mouse trail.
Yeah, the mouse trail. I'm not sure if you guys can see it, but I can clearly see it, and it's annoying the hell out of me because I hate that, and I have no idea why it keeps doing that. So I keep going here and turning it off because there's literally an option here, visibility.
I should be online now, by the way,
trails.
so I think you can send me an invite.
But it keeps friggin' switching back. If you guys know why Windows 11, and this is Windows 11 by the way, why it does that, let me know. And if there's like a setting. All right, let's see if I can see you. Yes, in menu. All right, here we go. Invite squad. Booyah. See if you can accept that. Yeah, you're in. All right. Let's go. Buddy Pass is live. Yeah, okay. Big care. Quick play. Waiting for a match. So what I'll do now then is I'll switch to the GV60. Here we go. So now we have the GV60 connected, and I hope you guys can hear me. Can you maybe switch to the window for OBS, Mike, so we can? Can you? Yeah, it's working. All right, cool. That's nice. So this is just the microphone, no software running in the background, no filters, no mixers, nothing. So we're first going to start out with that. You guys won't be able to hear Mike because yeah, we have to switch off our Lav Mics in order to prevent an echo. But you can, if he screams loud enough, you can probably hear him in the background.
Like this?
Yeah, like that. I hope. Maybe, I'm not sure. All right, who am I gonna pick? Somebody with a nice gun, and this guy seems to have a lot of experience, so that's nice. Confirm layout. Loadout, I mean. You need to, you know how to confirm, Mike?
Yep.
All right,
It looks like I only have a shotgun.
Oh, that's fine. It's nice and loud.
Yeah.
Attracts people. Okay, so apparently you guys, about the mouse trail going, you're saying that's Windows 11 for you? All right, fair enough. It's because Windows 11 hasn't had enough beer yet. Maybe it has. That's why it's seeing that trail like ghosting.
Maybe press F to mute Tina.
Yeah. All right, fair enough. We don't want to hear him. Okay, looks like we're about ready to start. So, alright, so again, I'm using the GK71 Sonic. Oh, that's nice. An upgrade. Sorry, an update for Far Cry 6 is available. Not right now, Ubisoft. Thank you very much. Alright. Okay. So now you guys will start to hear some clicking and clacking as well. Why did I throw a nade there? That's nice.
No thanks to some arc spines. See where they're turning up. You've located an arc spine. Set the charges and guard the site until they detonate.
Alright. Alright. Holy crap, there's somebody there. Yeah, got it. Oh, what the hell is that? Oh yeah, by the way, this is not a run and gun type of game. So if you go in and shoot everything, you're probably gonna die. It's really about pressing C and really sneaking. There's a spire here, I need to do something. Alright, fine.
Cool.
Get ready. Pissed off Archeans are on the way.
Impact out.
Alright, I'm gonna see if I can install one here as well.
Damn Archies are attacking the charges. Take them out.
Oh, we need to protect the charge.
I'm trying.
Alright, one tap.
Stop the Archeans. Don't let them get to the charges. Archies are getting to the charges. Don't let them.
Yeah, I'll guard this one. So I'm not sure, guys, if you're in the chat, can you guys hear the clicking and clacking of the keyboard? Wow.
The enemy is trying to get to the charges.
Outside
Can't
of
let that happen.
the game noise? There's somebody there? No, there isn't. Okay, cool. Let's keep it that way. Oh, where did you go? There, then, I guess. Die!
Our
Sabotage
supplies are
completed.
gone.
Alright,
Nicely
cool.
done. We can't risk it with the parasite.
Ammo restock here.
Nice. Where's the ammo restock? Where did I see that? Oh, here. Alright,
Stick to what works and improvise where you must. Keep moving forward.
You. Already full. Okay, so I guess we need to move on to this next area, Mike. And we need to, I think, all select this. Until you mentioned it was fine. I mean, it's literally, I'm not sure if you guys can see this, but the microphone is literally standing next to the keyboard, so you can hear it. Okay. So, now I have a couple of seconds anyway. Shall I try to activate the noise cancellation? See if that really filters it out. I think, here we go, MSI center. And I hope this is not going to screw everything up, but we'll see. Alright. Features, noise cancellation. Hello? Here we go. Yeah, microphone, here we go. Your friend can hear you clearly now. Okay, so hopefully, and I'm not sure you guys can be the judge. I'm gonna get back to the game now.
I'm taking contact here.
Ooh. Yeah, all right. And see if this indeed makes a difference or not. Clickety clacking. Boom.
Reload.
Reloading.
Oh wow. Somebody behind you, Mike.
Friendly fire.
Oops. The hell was that? Oh wow. Oh, where you going?
Cease fire. Reload.
Still hearing keyboard sounds. Alright, fair enough.
I have the item.
Oh. Alright.
Reload.
Some ammo.
Get some ammo here.
See if we can try like something like RTX voice in a minute. Alright, so we seem to be at the extraction point. Where's our goal? There it is. Oh wait, is this a nest still? There we go.
Reloading.
Reloading.
Ooh. Alright. So apparently we need to get there. Mike, you still with me? Can you hear me? Alright, okay.
Plug the nutrient node with foam. No nest should have multiple lives.
I'm reloading.
I guess we better help out our teammate there. What up? Oh crap. Dead. I was gonna say I heard somebody there. Oh, I'm down, dude.
Okay, guys.
Thanks.
I'm reloading.
Wasn't really paying attention to my surroundings.
Let's get you patched up.
Yeah, no problem. So once we go to the next area, I might see if I can switch to RTX voice, see if that does anything.
I'm reloading.
But I guess we still have to help out our teammate.
I've got the item.
And so apparently there's an item there still. See if we can get to it. Oh, he's already got. Oh, okay. I think you need to bring it here, Mike.
Installing it.
Oh, okay. The hell is that thing doing?
Cover me. Reloading.
Reloading! Reload.
I have no idea what we need to do here now. What are you doing, Mike? Okay, I'll come and see if I can help you out. Neither am I.
I'm reloading.
I guess not. 'Cause it doesn't say. Or carry injectors to the nutrient node. Ah, okay. So I guess we need to take another one from the from this area here, and then carry that also to a so-called nutrient node.
Reload!
Okay, you pick this one up. Okay, I'll pick up another one.
Item is in hand.
Okay. Ah. Now we can only use a pistol.
Reloading weapon!
Uh-oh. This might just be a little bit too...
I'm dry.
Too much for us to handle. I'm not sure where the... No, I think you need to find another node. There's multiple ones, I believe. Die. I saw another one of those things somewhere here, I think. And I probably should know where it is, but...
Weapon reload.
Oh god. Oi! 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 Okay, I'm dead. Yep. Yes. KO, watch out. Alright, so now that I'm out, what I'll do is see if I can enable something like RTX voice. Wow. What the hell is this?
Wait. All you have to do is exfil.
I was trying to alt-tab, but it didn't really work out quite as I hoped it would. Just show me a bit of a weird screen. There we go, that's more like it. So I'll disable sound tune for a minute. And then go to, where is it? Broadcast. Yeah, here it is. GV60 streaming mic. Microphone settings must be changed. How do you mean they must be changed? Noise removal. So I hope that this actually does a trick. But I'm not sure. It doesn't actually say what needs to be changed in the microphone settings, but I think maybe it means that we need to select what is it? Video broadcast as the microphone, but I'm not sure. Let me see. It's very complicated. There's a lot of settings here that we need to check, I guess. See if this still works. Yep. Okay, so now I selected NVIDIA broadcast. Ah, that might be why you guys didn't hear any difference when I selected sound tune, because I actually didn't select that as a sound source earlier on. This should hopefully make a difference. So there's... So if I just while I'm talking, or type quite aggressively on this keyboard, not sure of that, because then it should, it should really filter out a lot of that noise. And it seems it doesn't really want to switch back to the game. Bit of a bummer. Or is it? No, it keeps switching back to Windows. So, switching out of the game and changing settings gaming experience. So maybe, if this doesn't work, probably best to leave it. Yeah. All right. Well, that's pretty much it for the game then for now. I think it's about time to do another giveaway anyway, Mike.
Quickly switching the microphone again. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do another winner. I'm going to switch my monitor back.
Yes. And then also see if we can get the chat back on the second monitor.
Yes.
Because then we can see what you guys are saying.
There we go.
All right, let's do 2 winners.
I think that's a good idea.
Yeah,
to close it off.
Exactly, and we've been pretty busy this stream, talking a lot.
Let me also open that one
yeah,
up.
so while Mike draws the winners, I hope you guys like this stream. I hope you guys, appreciated a lot of the things about the products, of course, the products themselves that we presented. GK71 Sonic and the GK50 Low Profile Tenkeyless TKL. And of course, let's not forget the audio star of the show, the GV60 streaming microphone, which again, honestly, it's a really nice microphone. It just gives you a lot of a better voice, deeper voice, much more natural sounding voice for live streaming, for recording, things like YouTube videos, doing commentary, you name it, doing podcasts, whatever you wanna do. And it's plug and play, as you noticed as well. So it's quite easy.
Have two
all right,
winners.
so seems like we've got our winners. I mean, you do the honors, Mike. You did the work.
One is Winsally. I don't know how to pronounce it, but congratulations. You also won a game code for
Congratulations.
Rainbow Six Extraction. And our last winner for today is MSI WinL. But congratulations, you also won a game code for Rainbow Six.
Congratulations. We'll send those out
Extraction.
to you as soon as possible so you guys can
Yep.
also enjoy this game. It's a pretty tense game, I have to say. It's enjoyable once you get into it, but it's also pretty tense. So, you know, just lose your focus for a second. Like,
And
you know,
there are 5 zombies
we're
active.
playing the game, but obviously we're also, at the same time, I was trying to mind a lot of other things and read the chat. And, you know, if you're not really fully into it, then suddenly you get rushed. And, yeah, it's the game is not really very forgiving. But it's a fun game, I have to say, yeah.
Let me see if we have some last questions.
Yeah. So I hope you guys also,
Say a
you
lot
know,
of
got
congratulations for the
some good
winners.
information also about switches in general, you know, mechanical keyboards and switches, because again, it's like there's so much to unpack there. There's a lot of information. We only covered the basics, but I hope it at least helps you a little bit if you're new to it or trying to make sense of all the different choices there, that you at least have some concept of, you know, the main differences you're likely to find, and hopefully that can guide you into a certain direction that you're looking for. When is MSI going to make a gaming phone? I remember we used to have like an April Fool's joke where they photoshopped an SLI bridge. Remember when those things were a thing? SLI bridge. Like a fancy SLI bridge with LED in it. Yes, those were a thing. And they kind of presented it like, you know, somebody was holding it to their head like a phone, which was really a nice joke. But no, as far as we know, we don't have any plans for phones at the moment. So that was as far as, or as close as a phone as we were going to get for now.
I see another question. Does MSI Center support these products, or will there be by an update?
An
I think
MSI
they're
Center
already-
is basically
yeah.
going to be updated constantly. So actually, when we prepared for this live stream, I got I got another update for MSI Center. So new products, once they're being added, of course, be it motherboards, liquid coolers.
But I think the latest version of MSI Center can already support these two products.
Yes, yeah. Actually,
the
I
two
mean,
keyboards.
maybe if we can switch to the.
Yeah.
Oh, why is this so? This looks weird. The scaling is all off. Is this because of the capture? Probably.
Could be.
I think so. Wait. Display settings. Because it's. No, it was that before. Let me see. If I switch resolution, maybe it'll. There we go. That looks a little bit more acceptable, at least. Anyway, hardware monitoring. If I go to gaming gear, here you can see it already sees the keyboard, GK71 Sonic. Mike is now using the GK50 Low Profile TKL. If I would have had that one connected, it would show this already. So indeed, yeah, the MSI Center is constantly being updated. If you are unsure which version you need, but you have one of these products, you can go to msi.com like this and find the product. It will be under peripherals, keyboards, and then should be one of the first, here we go, GK71 Sonic. And you can always go to this support tab here. And there, it doesn't show anything right now. That is unfortunate. Usually it will also show, if I go to another product, probably it still needs to be updated, I think, the page there. Let's go for low profile, for example, was one that's been on there for a little while longer. Here you go, you can always find something like the manual, the digital version of the quick guide, but also utility, that's where it's at. You just select your operating system, in our case, Windows 11, and there you can always get the latest version of MSI Center if you are unsure which one you need. And once you've installed it, actually, you will get, if there is an update available for MSI Center, it's actually, I believe, a setting. No, it shouldn't be in support. I think in settings here. Always update. Basically, you will get a reminder if there's an update. It will offer it to you. It will say, hey, there's an update. Would you like to update the software now? And then you can update it. So you don't have to go to the website all the time to update it. You can just do it through inside the software. Yeah, and obviously when new products are being added that are supported, support will be added into the latest versions of the software. Yeah.
So let's close it off there for today.
Yes.
And well, next week we're going to talk about monitors. I'm sure that will be Ja.
Oh yeah.
He will tell you all the ins and outs of our specifically targeted at esports gaming monitors.
Yes.
So if you're interested in esports kind of games, think about Valorant, think about Counter-Strike, think about Rocket League, Rainbow Six Siege,
And you're
etc.
looking to buy a monitor for specific purpose for esports, but
Yeah.
there's also there's a lot of choice, and you're not really sure how to make sense of it or how to make the best choice.
Then that is
Make
the
sure
stream
you
for
watch that stream because
Yeah.
Ja's going to help you out.
So same place, same time. Thank you for watching this week,
Yep.
and I hope to see you all again next week.
All right, guys. Take care. See you
Goodbye.
next week. Bye bye.